Good morning, and welcome to another edition of the Brewing with Company podcast thingy-majagger. I just lost my train of thought.
I think it's because you're mad.
I know. Let me try that again. Welcome to Brewing with Company, the talk show / podcast, or whatever the hell you want to call it, where a couple of average Joes drink a cup of Joe and talk about crappy things in pop culture and video games. I'm getting flagged down. I'm no longer your host because I'm fired. Thanks to our sponsor, Xbox.
For real.
Yeah, man, I'm not. I'm like at a point of real frustration. Like, I don't even work for these companies, obviously, and we're not even in the gaming industry, but like as consumers who have loved these things for a long time, this is insane. So what we're talking about is obviously Xbox this week closed down 4 major studios under the umbrella that is Bethesda Games. Not Bethesda Game Studios. Todd Howard is still very much alive, but well, and he will be. But yeah, a lot of games came through, and Phil Spencer is under a lot of heat right now for some comments he's made in the past about the direction of Xbox, and then basically being a massive hypocrite to what's going on. Oh,
deservedly so. Jeez.
What are your thoughts before I start ranting?
I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why. Well, because I was reading a little bit into like the shutdowns and whatnot. Like, how many people was it again that all went away?
I don't even want to know how many people in general in the gaming industry has lost their jobs. But it's got to be well over 15 or 17,000 at this point, or 15,000 probably.
Yeah, because when you think about that, like especially like when you see how, because we were just talking just earlier today about how crazy inflation be and how crazy even though we're for the most part getting paid more than our parents' generation and whatnot, it doesn't feel like we're moving at all. And now I hear that all of these people that have lost their jobs in a gaming industry that we all love and whatnot, not only do I feel sorry for them and their livelihoods and stuff like that, but also what's going to happen next with gaming? Like, what's going to happen next with a lot of these studios, a lot of these games that are either in development or now probably going to be in. They're just going to be lost. Like no other. I don't know. Like what do you think is going to happen?
If I were working in gaming in any way, shape, or form, in game development, excuse me, I would not feel safe in the slightest. It's insane. And I know we've had layoffs, and like it's always going to be like, well, why didn't you're talking about Xbox because you're like a PlayStation fanboy or whatever. This has nothing to do. This is being a gaming fan in general. That's right. So I want to get console wars out of the way, but man, is it freaking hard not to be like, of the two evils right now, I'm really glad I own a PlayStation. Like, holy crap. And even PlayStation's layoffs are unforgivable.
Oh yeah.
They're unforgivable. The fact that Santa Monica Studios and Insomniac, how do you sell over 14 million copies and you can't?
After two successful games, and God of War Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2, whether or not you liked the story or not, you cannot deny that it was not a financial success for both of those games. And then they both wait. How many people did you say fired from Santa Monica and Insomniac?
Let me see if I can find a list, man, because I don't want to be throwing out random number, but it's thousands. It is thousands. That's insane. We're talking about livelihood at this point, and it's these CEOs, dude. And we talked about this in one of our second time doing this was like are video games too big? And yes, right. That's still a prevalent conversation, and how money is being spent to make these games is a relevant conversation. But this stuff with Xbox is way too far. It's way too far. And the big reason I say that is because like the studios that are shut down. Let's take Tango GameWorks, right? Tango GameWorks are the guys that made Hi-Fi Rush.
Yes. Let me look. Let me bring that up. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep.
One of the I'll try to find the exact quote. What that was tweeted out was by one of the Xbox CEOs. I don't think it was Phil Spencer. It was one of Microsoft CEOs that was. I don't even want to say CEOs. I want to make sure I'm punctual here. And since I don't have all the information, I'm just going to say what
Matt
I've
Booty.
seen. Probably, I think it was Matt Booty. He
Yeah.
had talked about we need to work on games that are going to bring in a fluctuation of players, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, players, and bringing in awards and doing what's best for the company. So, and then have creative vision and all these things that Phil Spencer has said in the last few weeks. Phil Spencer was on the Kind of Funny Games cast like a few weeks ago, and he was talking about Tango Games because Tango, what was it? Prey? Tango did Prey? Or no, that's Arcane. I'm
I
sorry.
don't. Yeah,
We're
I
going to
don't
talk
remember.
about Arcane. Arcane is also on that
They did
list,
Evil
which
Within.
thank you. Phil Spencer was like, "Oh, when I, greenlit Tango Studios, they thought they were making Evil Within 3, but in reality they were making Hi-Fi Rush. I want to give those studios their creative mind and blah blah blah." Those comments are now becoming really, really, a little bit of a sore spot
Hmm.
because, all right, Phil, you want to do that, and then you let go of Tango GameWorks, and the statement about, oh, we need games that are collecting awards and doing all these things. Last I checked, Hi-Fi Rush was a commercial success in terms of its
Yes.
pricing. It didn't hit what Microsoft wanted it to. I want to make that clear. Is that like a lot of the things that were talked about? It was not that it wasn't successful and that it wasn't a good game. It just didn't hit the numbers that Microsoft prophesized it to
Yeah.
be, and it was still massively successful. I'm pretty sure it had a high concurrent count of like 4 million at one point when it was on Game Pass, and it sold. I'm gonna look that up too, like see how many it sold, and it won game awards.
One
It
bunch of
has a
them.
game. It has a game award. It has a joystick award. I'm pretty sure it got several 8, 9s out of 10s. I'm pretty sure it got a 9 out of 10 from IGN, and it was out at GDC as well. Like it's done successful work. So what the hell are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Over 3 million players between purchased games and Game Pass subscriptions.
And
That's
if
that's insane.
I know,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I'm with you. It's like I for when you're asking for success for its,
What more do you want?
yeah, I know it's not 14 million Spider-Man copies. I know that,
Okay, but it was never
but
going to be. Like, come on, that's
well, and
Spider. Like,
it's progressing to be. And oh man, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off, right? Just like this type of creativity. The one that pisses me off the most is Arcane Austin. These are the guys behind the Dishonored series,
oh, okay,
Deathloop.
yeah.
They did Dishonored, Deathloop, and Prey. And what the hell? You force them to make a live service game, which they are not good at.
Which they did.
That is not what
They
they wanted to do.
even want to.
No, Arcane had come out multiple times and said that it wasn't their natural direction and things like that. But
Oh,
and
excuse
then
me.
they were, you want to say you want to give your freedom of creativity back to your studios, and then you let go. Dishonored 3 was in the works.
So we lost Dishonored 3 in in uh in exchange for Redfall, right? Of all the games that they could have given us,
Well,
right?
Dishonored 3 was in the work.
Yeah.
It was happening.
Yeah, it was gonna happen, but it was stopped. Like the production, if I remember correctly, was stopped in favor of Redfall, right?
I don't know if it was a complete stop or if it was just
Oh,
like a
scale
backfill.
back, scale back.
Yeah, something like that. I
Yeah,
think I couldn't tell you, but
that's disappointing.
it's incredibly disappointing, and it pisses me off because what are you CEOs doing? And I like to give Phil Spencer credit, dude, because he's one of the only CEOs that's like a legit gamer.
I was about to say, yeah, they're not
But
gamers.
this
Yeah,
was a corpo move. This was a corporate
just out of
suit and tie move,
what's the word? Being like out of context or
or as the kids say these days, out of pocket.
out of pocket. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, but like, they have no idea. They have no idea what the people want, and I don't. It's so frustrating to see not only so many passionate people, um, who have worked their butts off to be put to make a living in making video games, which is something that a lot of us would give our left arm for. Okay, maybe not left arm, but like
You
maybe my
need your
left,
left arm to make
yeah,
video
to
games,
game
so
play
maybe
video
your
games.
left leg.
Uh, yeah, or my left ear. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So
I'm
you
holy,
know,
Fred.
I'm only, yeah, nice little Harry Potter reference there. But the fact that that at the end of the day, the people who suffer the most, besides obviously people losing their livelihood and how they make their money, is going to be the gamers, who then it's gonna circle back around to the pockets of these big publishers and whatnot, these big CEOs and stuff like that, and they're gonna think, oh well, what we were doing before wasn't working. No, what you were doing before was working, but then you started getting greedy and you started like saying like, oh no, you need to make more live service games, even though for the most part most people didn't ask for that, or the only games that really worked live service were the ones that just happened to strike gold, and you can't really replicate that in every single genre or franchise.
It
um so, oh man, that's
somebody has to win the lottery. That
man,
doesn't mean it has to be you.
exactly, right?
That's the thing, is like, and
Oh,
dude,
I like that.
I hate to be the whole blame Fortnite for everything, but like, damn, it's like everything circles back to Fortnite. It's and it's not Fortnite's fault. You strike
No,
gold, you roll with it. But it's this idea that like we all need Fortnite money, and the live service is a big factor of that. But now I can't even pinpoint what the freaking problem is, because Tango GameWorks makes Hi-Fi Rush,
right.
massive success. Well, okay, success
Success for what it was
for what it
planning on.
was, man, and I think its success would have turned into a massive success for its sequels if you
Yeah,
had kept it going.
yeah.
Now you don't get that anymore. Dishonored 3, easy banger, easy banger. It was gonna make money.
Be
It was gonna make money.
those will be disgustingly successful.
And Prey 3, a lot of money. There you
Yeah,
go. It was gonna happen. But now we're sitting here, and I think not only if you're in gaming should you be afraid, but I think you're right. As a consumer, we should also be afraid, because now we're considering like, what games are we getting? Because now Dishonored 3 is gone. Hi-Fi Rush 2 is gone for
right.
now, anyways. All these games are gone for now, unless PlayStation wants to come and nab them up and do something with them. I don't know. Maybe Nintendo's creeping in the background, ready to buy all these people up. But how the hell do you go from the Activision Blizzard acquisition
Yeah,
last year ago that cost over $69 million or whatever the hell it was, and then now we're sitting here talking about we fought for these studios, we fought to have it.
and then
Xbox is, yeah, dude, shutting down 4 studios right before you're about to have a showcase too is insane. It's insane.
oh,
Xbox is
you're
about to have
right.
a showcase in June.
You're right.
Dude, who the hell's gonna watch it? And
I
on
mean,
top of
we
that,
we will, but like the average, even though we are average goes, but I'm talking about like just the average Xbox gamer, or the average just gamer in general and whatnot, who doesn't have a podcast. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
dude. Well,
wow,
and they're
I
ending the
forgot that.
showcase.
Yeah.
They're ending the showcase with a full representation for the next Call of Duty game.
Oh
They're
wow.
they're picking at straws, dude. I don't know what else to do for. I think when we first talked about it and we had asked if like Xbox was going to continue to be a company, I believe I said, yeah, I don't think Xbox is going to continue to be a console. It may not be the best. It'll rearrange what it is. I'm actually thinking I'm going to change my statement on that. I genuinely think it's no longer Xbox Studios. I think it's going to become Microsoft Gaming,
Microsoft. Yeah.
and it's not going to be a console anymore. It's going to be a service, and it is going to be for PC only, or like Xbox might turn into like a little Fire Stick that you plug into your TV with a service play and subscription. And Xbox, as we knew it growing up, as the beloved studios that brought us, Halo, Gears of War,
Fable.
Fable, and all these great things that Microsoft has brought to the table to make the console wars a competitive market, it's freaking gone, dude. And it's pathetic. And I hate slapping at Phil Spencer, because I usually, as somebody who's a PlayStation fanboy, I like to give Phil Spencer a lot of credit. But right now, dude, I'm kind of like, ooh, dude, you jacked up. You jacked up big time. You're letting go of these studios. Where's this money going? You're a multi-billion-dollar company. I have a hard time believing that 4
Yeah.
studio shutdowns is necessary. You're not allocating your money to what
Owned by
needs to happen.
Microsoft? Come on. Of
Yeah,
all,
dude.
come on.
You have Bill Gates money in your pocket, dude. It's there somewhere, and you need to bring it together. Larian Studios is making everybody look like crap right now.
Exactly.
They are making everybody look like crap right now, because they are openly not just doing it, but they are openly talking about like, yeah, we made a lot of money. We're not going to just start buying up things and wasting our money and our time. We're going to allocate our resources, put them where they're necessary, and then move forward with our games. And I have a feeling that Larian Studios might become the best studio for the next couple of years because of this mentality.
Hey, they deserve that then. Shoot.
And they're not owned, they're not held down to anything. They're an independent studio, so they just need publishers and they're good to go. And I'm starting to give my money to independent studios much more now, because I'm, as much as I love my PlayStation, and I will give Naughty Dog my money for the next game. I will, because they've earned my trust, and especially whatever IP Neil Druckmann's working on, it's earned it. But at the same time, I'm also like I don't even want to go to GameStop anymore to give them my money. I want to give
GameStop in months, which is crazy.
I'm trying to go to like local game shops and spend my money there.
I don't even, dude. Are there local shops where I live? I don't even know.
It's hard, because like
they were
I
all
like physicals.
They were all bought up by GameStop, and what was that other one that GameStop eventually killed? Anyway.
EA.
Yeah, EA. Yeah, EA Games.
I used to have an EA Games shop in the mall where I live.
Dang, let's throw it back. But yeah, no, I was thinking that too, because like, I wonder if the rest of, well, is there going to be like a mass hiring from like, other companies that will take on these teams that have made great games in the past. They have good resumes. And you bring them onto other projects, then maybe you can hell, why don't we just I don't know, get a team of those people who just lost their jobs and finally do Half-Life 3, something like that. I don't know.
Duke
like,
Nukem Forever again.
Yeah, right. But no, in all seriousness though, like I feel so heartbroken. Because the loss of, I mean, in my career field too, there's been a lot of loss of jobs and whatnot, and it's crazy to talk to some of these people, and where they're just like, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do, where I'm supposed to go.
And it's in one of the worst times in America to lose a job right now. It's absolutely insane,
especially during election year.
I'm still under the impression that PlayStation's probably going to start buying up a lot more.
I think so too.
Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up in the air at this point. As much as I have been a PlayStation fanboy in my life, having no competitive edge from Xbox is going to cause a issue.
It's be stagnant for well, eventually it'll be stagnant. No.
We're going to get whatever Sony wants to give us, and it's not how it works. They bought up these older companies to be competitive and win that competition because they had a competitive edge. Right. I never once grew up thinking that Halo wasn't a competitive game to what I loved.
And now,
never once.
And
now it's not.
Now look at us. We're like, there's another Halo game coming out soon. Like,
you don't even want it anymore. You're like, if they announced a Gears of War right now, I think it would come out as trash, and they have lost and they have lost a lot of respect in the gaming community from a lot of people. It's
I
just
mean,
not.
literally, the only thing that they have going for them somewhat now is the fact that they announced a new Fable. But even then, people are like, I don't even know if I even want to play it. Like,
We have no gameplay.
yeah.
We have no
So
direction. We don't even know what it's about. It was
yeah,
a funny. It's a funny trailer. It's
it
cool to
is.
see the word Fable again, but
Yeah.
at this point, the nostalgia keys are not clicking for me
Which
right now.
which I'm a little happy for because for too long, not just video games, but just like um,
Happens way
creators
more in television.
creators in general, yeah, creators in general have just been thinking that nostalgia keys is all they need and whatnot. Which the nostalgia keys are nice, every once in a while, but that should not be based on be your whole market. It's just to hey, remember this? I love I love the South Park member berries.
Exactly.
I
It's
never I didn't really like get it when that episode first came out of South Park until like not now but like a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, so that's what they were kind of talking about, member berries. Yeah, so I get it now. Yeah, it's
it's
really annoying.
it's frustrating, man,
They
because
called it.
I think video games are going to start. I wouldn't like put my money on this prediction, but I think video games are going to start going completely independent market here soon.
I'm okay with it as long as we still get good games.
Well, my concern with it is, as much as I love independent studios doing independent things,
Right.
they're going to have to change the way studios are owned and or contracted for consoles, because the majority of us, we're not going to just gaming can't just revert back to PC and PC only. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I
It's too
agree.
expensive.
Even though I'm a PC gamer, I
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah,
you shouldn't have to have the knowledge of a PC, because PC gaming comes with even at its base level,
yeah,
comes with some knowledge. You need to know, some resolution, some frame cap. You need to know
yeah.
the basics in order to get your games working and running and know what hardware can run what, right? Whereas
Yes.
a typical consumer is going to look at a PlayStation, an Xbox, or a Nintendo Switch, or whatever the console is, a Sega Genesis, and they're going to be like, I got to plug it in, know what game I want to buy, and play it. And
Yeah.
that's the problem, is that if it diverts to an independent market, is it bad that it might shift to where the gaming studios are going to be the up and the console studio is
Mhm.
going to be below it?
That's a
Because
good.
that's what it might divert to.
That is a good question. Yeah, I didn't think about that way. Mm. Well, anyone else who would like to add something, definitely let us know in the comments because wow, this has been a week for gamers. Our
It's been a
thoughts,
year.
go out, yeah, for real. Yeah. Our thoughts go out to all of those who are currently looking for new employment. Hopefully, you find something. Hopefully, Larian Studios is hiring or something. I don't know.
Too, for real.
But yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know. That's me. What about you? Is that you?
It's not all of me at this point.
I agree.
Half of me got fired from Xbox.
Man. Well, actually, you said half of you got fired from Xbox, but when's the last time you even touched an Xbox?
I haven't owned an Xbox since I was like 14.
Damn.
And I sold that Xbox within 4 months of owning it
To buy a PlayStation.
to get a PlayStation 3.
Nice.
I've always loved PlayStation,
You were
and it's just been
14.
my.
You were 14 when the PlayStation 3 came out. Man, I'm getting
Ooh,
old.
no, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna hurt you. I was not 14 when the PlayStation 3 came out. I was just 14 when I was able to obtain my own PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 came out in 2006. I was 10 years old.
Well, I'm gonna go and my teeth because apparently jeez. 2006? Are you serious?
It's either 6 or 7, yeah, and I was about 10 or 11 when it came out. My brother had one right as he went to college, and right around
That was, yeah, now that I think about it, yeah.
2009 or whatever it was.
I
Yeah,
do remember it coming out when I was in high school.
my brother had like a Gen 3 when he went to college. Because that was back when PlayStation had the generations instead of like
Yeah,
the
I do
slim, the
remember those.
whatever.
I do
And
remember those, yeah.
Yeah, I used to sneak in the middle of the night and play his PlayStation 3 when he was home from college. And yeah, because
Oh,
that's how I got my video games in, bro. Because like I had the PS2 and I had the PC, but until I could get my own PlayStation 3, and I was about 14, and I hustled that myself, man. I had put together all the PS2 stuff that my brother didn't want. I had gathered any money that I had saved because I knew on the back end I was going to need to spend money, and then I had taken my Xbox 360 that my mom bought me, and I had taken it down to a local gaming shop called Gamers Anonymous. Did a full trade in, paid like I think it was
got
like
$6 for them all of it.
actually no, they did a pretty good job of getting me right where I needed to be to where I think I only tossed like $105 just to get the rest of it for the PS3. And he
That
put
was a
a
lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. That was a lot of money back in 2006.
it's a shitload of money for a 14-year-old, let me tell you. Or I think it was like 15 or whatever. Yeah, gaming when you're young is like however you can get your hands on it. So
Right, as long as you're not stealing it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
maybe.
not physically get your hands on it.
Yeah.
We are not condoning anybody who is arrested by this episode of Brewing with Company. You will obtain legal counsel at your own expense. Please do not blame us for any legal authority. Okay, thank you. That is you. That is me. Goodbye.
Big time, ladies and gentlemen.